Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over an updated team selection for Game Week 1. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what is your team looking like for Game Week 1, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So starting things off, I have updated my team. I've had a little bit more time to tinker with it, have a little bit more information about certain players and stuff, so I'm a little bit happier now with where my Game Week 1 team is at this point in time. Of course, things will still change before Game Week 1 rolls around, but this is where I'm currently at. Of course, make sure to follow me on Twitter. It's in the description down below. Send me your teams. I'd love to rate them in a future video, and also the FPL Now league code is in the description as well if you want to join the mini league. But anyway, let's get into my team. Starting things off, in goal, I'm keeping Ramsdale. He's got Forest at home. The fixture's just so good for Arsenal at the start of the season. I know that they have conceded quite a few goals in like the last few games of the season before, but with Rice now kind of solidifying that midfield and stuff, I think they're going to be a lot more sound defensively, and as well as that, they're just really good options, and the fixtures are just really good. So I'm keeping Ramsdale at the moment. He is a 5-0 keeper, and there's still certain options like the new Brentford keeper. If Raya goes, he could be an option. Obviously he's 0.5 less as well, so that's something I'll definitely be taking a look at. But this is what I mean. This is why things can change. Certain players will have transfers and stuff away, and that's when like certain different things have to happen. But as of right now, we're going with Ramsdale in goal, who's got Forest at home. At the back, Shaw, who's got Wolves at home, and Estepinian, who's got Luton at home. But we do now have Trent, who's got Chelsea away. I know the fixtures aren't too good from a defensive standpoint in terms of Liverpool's back line for the first few fixtures of the season, but Trent is now playing in that midfield role, and I think he's just going to find a lot more. Well, I mean, we saw it at the back end of the last season, all the chances he was creating, the more chances he was getting. I didn't have him in my team, and every single time Liverpool played, I was super scared, and so I definitely want him in my team this season. I feel like he's just going to have a really good season, and he's still marked as a defender as well. So not only is he going to be creating all of these chances, having more shots on goals and stuff, on set pieces, but he's also going to get the clean sheet points as well if they do manage to keep a clean sheet. So really beneficial, I think, having Trent this year. And he is 8 mil, which obviously is a bit unfortunate, but I think he's just going to be someone that he just has to be in my team. I think he's just going to be too good and too bad if I don't have him. Like, he's just going to hurt me, I think, straight from the bat. So yeah, that's kind of where the defensive lineup's at. I've kind of chucked out the double Arsenal defense, because I did have Gabriel in this team, but I do still have Ramsdale. I do want an Arsenal defender just from the fixtures they've got at the start of the season, but I've opted for more of an attacking Arsenal kind of triple up in this draft, which I'll get onto in a second. But yeah, as of right now, Ramsdale in goal, Shaw, Estepinian, and Trent at the back. It's very template, this back line. The goalkeeper not so much, but the back line is definitely template. But again, that's just because of the fixtures they've got and the players that they are. Like, yeah, fair play, you can go against the template, but at the end of the day, that's probably going to hurt you, because these players are a template for a reason, because they're just so good to have in your team. So anyway, that's the back line. In midfield, still got Mbeumo, still got Saka, still got Matoma, still got Bruno Fernandes, but now, because I've changed the formation to a 3-5-2, I've now brought in Grealish. This Grealish could really be anyone, though, around that price point. Grealish is, what, 7.5? It could be a Mount if Mount starts playing really well for United or in preseason and stuff. It could be a number of different players in that position. It could also be a Foden as well. With the De Bruyne injury, you know, we don't really know the severity of that, so I think Foden could be a bit of a shout this year. Obviously, Grealish seems to be one of Pep's main starters from what we saw in the last season. So if that's going to be the case preseason and stuff, then I think Grealish should be a nice little option to have as well. Bruno Fernandes, again, Rashford is someone that I'm definitely going to be missing out on. The same with Salah. I feel like I have to have Salah in my team, but you just have to take so many kind of hits elsewhere in terms of like players you're going to have to drop that I don't know if it's going to really be that useful and beneficial. I've seen drafts with like Haaland, Salah, and Trent, and just the rest of the players just aren't really up to par. And I don't know, I feel like it's gonna hurt. Just like if Salah doesn't perform, I don't know, I'd rather have like 3 players that all could definitely perform, like Bruno and Saka and Grealish, against like Salah, who again is a really good player and one of the best players, if not the best FPL player we've ever had. But if he blanks, you know, it's gonna hurt. Whereas these 3 other players, they've all got like good options, and they've all got a chance to pop off. Like Bruno and Saka both have penalties, so that's obviously going to be very, very beneficial for those. With Salah, you know, we don't even know if he's going to keep penalties. Like, obviously, McAllister took them at Brighton. Whether he keeps the penalties and then takes them into Liverpool, we're not sure. Again, these are things that we need to find out about. And if Salah loses penalties, I think he becomes a lot less valuable for that price range. But yeah, Mbeumo obviously going to be in my team as well. Potentially could be on penalties, with Tony not going to be in the squad because of his ban. Again, he's not going to replace Tony, but he's just been such a better player last season that I think he's going to be so good to have in your squad. Same with Matoma as well. Potentially could be on penalties. It's very unlikely that Matoma will be on penalties, but obviously with McAllister leaving, someone has to take the spot kick. So it could be Matoma, could be Mount. It could be March, should I say. We don't really know, but yeah, it's probably going to be a striker. Like, Ferguson is also a player that a lot of people are kind of sniffing around, and I think he could be really good as well. But for 6 mil, you kind of need him to start most games, and not most games for 6 mil, but you know what I mean. You want him to start more than he's not going to, but either way, this is the midfield. It's a 3-5-2 formation, like I say. It's quite a nice midfield, to be fair, quite strong. And then up top, we do have Haaland, and then we also have Gabriel Jesus as well. I just think that Jesus is, his numbers are just really good. And yeah, he did get early subbed and stuff in a couple of fixtures, but that was just coming back from the injury. I think Jesus is going to be a nice option this year, and I think he will probably be, I think these probably will be my 2 strikers. I think there's just not enough information about Kane, and if he does stay at Spurs, you know, is that going to affect him? Because obviously it's probably going to be another season where he doesn't win anything, and they don't even have any European football, Spurs, either, so it's going to be a tough one for Kane. So I don't know if that's going to affect him. I know that there's the introduction of like Maddison and stuff who will also help. I don't know how that's going to change things around with like Son, and obviously Richarlison is still there, but yeah, I just feel like these 2 attackers, for what else that it brings to the team, because having Jesus allows me to get Trent, it allows me to have Saka, Fernandes and Grealish as well. So it's another one of those where it's like it's Kane or like 2-3 really good players, it's Salah or 2-3 really good players. So that's the kind of the situation that we're on right now. And then the the sub bench, should I say, we've got Areola, who's got Bournemouth away. I've opted with Mings as well instead of Botman, just simply because Botman's fixtures at the start of the season are just not very good. Whereas Mings, you know, you could easily play him Everton at home, Burnley away. If I needed to play him in 2 or 3, if we get an unlikely injury or something to Shaw or Estepinian or Trent or something, I can just play Mings as a backup. Yeah, his goal threat isn't great and stuff. Like, he has scored a couple, got a couple of assists or whatever, but it's just, I think for the first like 5 or 6 fixtures, I think he's going to be a better option to have than Botman. Also got Bell as well, little rhyme there, but yeah, we've already spoken about why he's in the team. Fixtures are really good, but he did play most of the games. He can play like left back, left wing back, left mid as well, so I think he's a decent option to have for only 4 mil as well. I think he's a bit of a steal. Not that they're going to keep a ton of clean sheets, but it's a player that's most likely going to play, and he has got that attacking threat as well. And then I've also just got Sims as well, just as a backup striker. You know, he's just not someone that I'm going to play, but I don't really need to be bothered too much about my bench yet, because I'm not going to be playing my bench boost anytime soon. I will probably sort my bench out properly when I play my wild card at some point in the season, and then I can start attacking the bench boost and stuff. But as of right now, that's what the team is kind of looking like. If I do go to my transfers, like I said, I've got nothing in the bank. If I just go to this Grealish price point, though, there are other options that I could have. So I've got 7.5 that I could play around with. Could potentially move that up to 8 if I did drop Ramsdale, but I'd have no Arsenal defense then, which I'm not a massive fan of. But if I go to 7.5 and then I go to midfielders, 7.5, we have well, it's ordered in points. Hang on, let me go for price. So we've got Havertz, who I could bring in, who I could just triple up on Arsenal, and that would allow me to get rid of Ramsdale, but I'd have no Arsenal defense. There's Luis Diaz as well, 7.5, could be a Salah replacement. Again, his minutes, you know, we'll have to see how that kind of unfolds, but you know, if he does start like loads of preseason games and, you know, Klopp speaks highly of him, then he could be definitely a player to have instead of Salah. Again, Foden is there, 7.52, as well as Grealish. It's literally just like who's going to pick out of those two. There's also Maddison as well for 7.5 mil, who I think could also be a very good option. There's Sterling, who's 7 mil, which I think is very cheap for Sterling. I remember a few seasons ago when it was like 10.5 mil. We've got Mount as well, who's also 7 mil. So there's so many midfielders that I could bring in around this price point. And again, I could maybe extend to 8 if I were to get rid of Ramsdale. I don't know where else I would find 0.5 mil though. There's not really anyone else I would really want to drop. At the same time though, I could have Grealish, I could drop Ramsdale to a Flecken or something, and then I could also upgrade Bruno Fernandes to a Rashford. So there are different variations of this that I could pick. But yeah, let's just say I go for, I don't know, Grealish, Foden, Maddison, any of those are options, Luis Diaz. I'd like Luis Diaz to be like a really good option, because that's just such a good price point for him and I'd just be sorted, but it seems very unlikely. But either way, that's how my team's kind of shaping up for the Game Week 1 deadline. Again, it's so much time yet and there's so many more changes that I'm going to be making. But as of right now, this is what it's kind of looking like. So I just put Grealish in there for now because that is what is in my actual team. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment. What is your Game Week 1 draft looking like? Remember to subscribe. Follow my Twitter in the description down below. Send me your team, so I'll do a rate my team video at some point in the week. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, peace.